Hi everybody, another problem. So I'm going to be doing from section 1.6. It is number 30. A lot of factoring involved, and the thing that I wanted to emphasize as well is that remember when you divide two fractions, you actually convert it to multiplication and you turn this fraction over. And so ignoring these pieces, because this is scratch work for me, I have the 16a squared minus 24a plus 9 over 4a squared plus 17a minus 15 times, because remember I turned this over, 4a squared plus 11a plus 6, and then the 16a squared minus 9. Now, we need to change each of these expressions into factors so that we can reduce and as well multiply these. So, this is a difference of squares. We have two terms in it. The square root of 16a is going to be 4a and then 4a. And then the square root of 9 is 3 and then 3. And to make sure that we don't have a middle term and we get a negative there, one has to be positive and one has to be negative. Now, I have three terms up here. And what I did was I went, well, 4 times 6 is 24. And then factor pairs of 24 that add up to 11 would be 8 and 3. So let me hop over here. Sorry for moving the camera on you. So it's 4a squared plus 3a plus 8a plus 6. And the thing you got to pick up is that the 3a plus the 8a adds to 11a. So that we've split that. Now, the only thing that's in common in these two is an a. And so I'm left with 4a plus 3. And what's in common in these two is a 2. So I'm left with a 4a plus 3. And then these binomials are in common in both of the terms. So 4a plus 3 pulls out. And then we're left with the a plus the 2. And that's what I have written up here. And then the next one I did was the numerator here, the 16a squared minus the 24a plus the 9. All right, so I multiplied 16 times 9 and I got 144. And I thought, well, okay, factor pairs that get you to 144 that add to negative 24, well, that's negative 12a with a negative 12a. In a previous video, I had talked about how most of the time the sign of what you pull out will be here, but once in a while you won't have sign agreement, so you pull it out and you have to do some manipulation. So this is an actual example of what I was talking about. Maybe I didn't say it particularly clearly, so hopefully it makes sense here. So I rewrite the 24 as negative 12a and another negative 12a. Again, you split it into two groups. What's in common in these two terms is 4a, leaving with a 4a minus 3. What's in common in these two is a 3. But I need to pull out a negative 3 because I need to have this sign here be negative and I need this sign here to be positive. So I need to release that negative from the 12. So I'm going to pull out a negative 3 and it works this way. Negative 3 goes into negative 12 positive 4 times. Negative 3 goes into positive 9 negative 3 times. So hopefully that makes sense. I have 4a minus 3 in common in both terms, and I'm left with a 4a minus 3. And that's what's written up here. On this last one, I have the 4a squared plus 17a minus 15. I go 4 times negative 15 is negative 60. And then what I get is splitting it into a positive 20 and a negative 3 because a positive 20 and a negative 3 adds to 17, and a positive 20 times a negative 3 multiply to a negative 60. So I split. I have a common factor of 4a, leaves me with a plus 5. I have the need to make that positive, so when I pull out this negative, that's going to convert that to a positive. It's also going to make that a positive. So again, talking through it, negative 3 goes into negative 3, a positive 1 time. Negative 3 goes into negative 15, a positive 5. So the a plus 5s are in common and leaving us with that 4a minus 3. So that's how I got the a plus 5, 4a minus 3 over there. So I rewrote the pieces. So I have 4a minus 3, 4a minus 3 over a plus 5, 4a minus 3. And then over on this side, the 4a plus 3, a plus 2, and the 4a plus 3, 4a minus 3. So I started canceling top to bottom. So I did the 4a minus 3 to the 4a minus 3, 4a minus 3 to this 4a minus 3, 4a plus 3 and that 4a plus 3, and I'm left with an a plus 2 and an a plus 5. Hopefully that helps, folks.